Hello, everybody, and welcome to another story hour with Mrs. Goodfriend. Today, we are going to read One Bean, and it is by Anne Rockhill, and the pictures are by Megan Helsley. Okay, and this is a really neat story about the life cycle of a bean plant. Take a look at the children on the cover. They look pretty happy, don't they? Do you think planting seeds is a kind of a fun thing to do? And you know what? This particular bean that they're planting, you get a special reward at the end. Let's read and find out what we get. I had one bean. It was dry and smooth and hard. There it is, the one bean, dry and smooth and hard. Kind of looked like, let's see if I have one. I do. Look at that. It's dry and smooth and hard, isn't it? Pretty cool. I put it on a wet paper towel. I covered it with another wet paper towel. Soon its skin had turned wrinkly. Look at that. Look at how wrinkly it is now. It's not smooth, is it? I wonder why that happened. Do you think you know? That's right. The bean has something called a seed coat on it to protect its insides, just like we wear a coat to protect our skin when it's cold out. And when we put it in water, it wrinkles up and it starts to loosen up because the bean starts to puff up and get bigger. It gets too big for the seed coat. My bean had gotten fatter too. I think it got too fat for the skin because the skin split. This meant it was time to plant my bean. Look at that. It's time to plant the bean. Pretty cool. So when you put your bean in water or in the paper towel and it gets all wrinkly, that means it's time to plant it. Oh, look. What are they doing? It looks like they have a cup and maybe some soil. What do you think they're going to do with that bean? Let's read and find out. I filled a paper cup with black potting soil. So soil is another name for dirt. Then I laid my fat, wrinkly bean in the cup and covered it with soil. So you covered it with more soil on top. So now it's nice and warm in there, and it'll help the seeds stay safe and grow. There it is. There's that seed in the pot. Look at it, buried down in the earth. Not too far down, though. Let's read and see what happens next. I watered it when the soil was dry. Oh, so we know that living things like plants, they need water to live, right? So we have to make sure that soil stays nice and moist, doesn't get all dry and cracky. Even though I couldn't see my bean, hidden under the damp black soil, I watched for it every day. So every day he observed to see what's going to happen to that little bean. What do you think is going to happen next? Maybe let's read and find out. Oh, look. Oh my goodness, what do you see? Yes, the bean is starting to grow. Let's read and find out what happens. Then one day, just like in the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, something wonderful happened. A greenish white stalk poked up from the soil. My bean was dangling from the end of it. Look at that. Look at that. That is so interesting, isn't it? A little stalk poked up from the ground. What happened now? Do you see? Yes, it's getting bigger. What else does it have? You're right, it has more leaves on it. Let's read and see what happened. Soon, 2 leaves grew on my bean plant. These were shaped like Valentine hearts. They are shaped kind of like hearts, aren't they? They have a rounded top and a pointy bottom. That's pretty neat. So let's Let's see what's happening. Do you see? Hmm. Looks like it's changing over time, that seed, that plant, doesn't it? Let's see. More green heart-shaped leaves sprouted. My bean plant grew bigger and bigger. It needed a bigger place to live and grow. Look how big it got. Wow. What do you think he's going to do next with his bean plant? Wow, those are all good predictions. Let's see if you're right. I filled a flower pot with potting soil. Very gently, very carefully, I took my one bean with its bright green leaves and roots spreading through black, moist soil out of the paper cup. I planted it in the flower pot where it could grow and stay. So look at that. When he pulled it out of the paper cup, he didn't just pull the plant and the roots, he had to take the soil that was around the roots. Remember, the roots grow on the bottom of the plant to help it eat the nutrients in the soil and get the water that go up the stem and into the leaves. Yeah. Sunshine shone on it and made my bean plant grow some more. Oh, so because it's a living thing, it does need sunlight to grow. Just like we need sunlight, our plants need sunlight. I wonder what would happen if it didn't have any sunlight. Do you think it would grow still? Yeah, I agree. I don't think so either, because it's a living thing. One day, I saw lots of little green bumps on my bean plant. Those little green bumps were buds. Can you see them? Look at all those buds on the plant. Interesting. What do you think's going to happen to those buds? Are they going to stay the same or change? I wonder. Do you think they're going to change? Let's read and find out. The buds burst open, and lots of white flowers blossomed among the green leaves. Look at that. Look at all those blossoms that are blooming on the plant. That's really cool, isn't it? That is so cool. Good job. Okay. All right. So, what do you think is going to happen next to all those little blossoms? It's a bean plant. I don't know. Let's read and find out. When the white flowers fell off, tiny, tiny bean pods hung. In their place, before long, there were lots of bean pods growing on them. Beautiful green plants. Oh, look at that. Look at how big it got. It grew so tall, just like a beanstalk. And look at that. Do you see them? Those are the pods. What do you think is inside those pods? You're right, more beans. We can eat the whole thing. Those tiny bean pods grew bigger. One day, I picked one. I split it open and looked inside. What do you think I saw? What does he see inside the pods? Can you see? What does he see? You're right, some beans. I saw some smooth and shiny beans shaped for just like the one bean that had started it all. So he got more beans, just like the one that started it all. That's amazing. What do you think he's going to do now that he has all these beans? Maybe. I picked a few pods and ate the beans that grew inside them. And they were very, very good. Look at that. He got to eat all the beans. I told you there'd be a special treat at the end, some delicious beans to eat. That's pretty cool, isn't it? The end. Do you think that we could plant a bean just like the little boy did? Maybe our magic beans, and see what happens. Do you think they're going to grow some delicious beans, string beans for us, maybe? Or maybe It'll be like Jack and the Beanstalk, and it'll go really, 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 really high. The stalk will go so high, it'll go up into the sky. And then I wonder what will happen. We're going to have to find out. So tomorrow, bring your magic beans and your paper towel and your plastic bag, and we are going to see how to plant some magic beans. Okay, bye for now.